Hey guys, I'm Joel. Welcome back to a new video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be installing new suspension on my E46 drift wagon right here. Currently what's on them is old MaXpeedingrods. And you can see it, they're the red ones. They're the ones that retail for about $320, somewhere around there. And I had them sent to me for free to test them. And after like a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks, the front started clicking, but yesterday I found out that the front nut was loose, so I didn't check to make sure that if those were loose or not. So now the suspension is riding a lot better, but the only thing is with these coilovers, you can only ride them at the lowest height. And as you can see, that is a big problem for me because this is a drift car and it's not really a stance car. I don't want to have it sit this low. This is the only height that the suspension will go in properly. So this is the only height you get with these, and that's my biggest complaint. They're really cheap, but they're just, it's too low. Unless if you only care about being as low as possible, then sure, I would say that they're not that bad for that aspect. But you buy coilovers for the adjustability. If you have no adjustability in the coilovers, it doesn't really make sense. So if you want to get just max low for as cheap as possible, I always say, if you're a high school student, that's when I was in high school, I would go days where I wouldn't eat because I wanted to put money towards my car. I know what it's like. I understand that sometimes you don't have the money and you just want to try and do something to your car, and that is what you can do. But for that reason, these aren't that bad. But that's the only time that I will say these are kind of worth it. But if you're trying to build a car to drive hard and perform well, these coilovers are not it. There's just no adjustability. That's so bad. Because of that reason, I was like, yo, I really want to know what these coilovers would feel like if you could adjust them. With that though, they sent me a picture of some new coilovers and they looked actually really good. And I was just praying. There's no videos on these coilovers, so I'm just trying to be the first test subject and see how they actually perform. Because I think if they fix that shock height problem, we'll be able to compare them evenly to other coilovers, and it won't just be in its own bottom category where you would just be like, MaXpeedingrod, oh, that's the worst. So it's still unbiased. They did send me it for free, but if they suck, I'm gonna tell you they suck. They're not paying me to say these are good. They're literally just sent me and say, yo, make a video review on that. I was like, okay. So I'll do a video review on it because these are now kind of a lot of money. They're $515 as of January 4th, 2022. Forgot the year for a second. That's kind of a lot. So that's putting it a lot more into the mid-tier range of the low tier. They're not $2,500, but they're not $1,000. So that's kind of that category of coilovers. So these right here are truly horrible roads. And I'm just gonna plow through them. That was a very brutal patch of road for suspension, and it didn't take it that badly. And through the gravel, going like 20 miles an hour. It's like, man. I'm gonna go through it. Bruh. I avoid the right side of that ramp out of there like the plague in any of my other cars, and this thing just took it like a champ. Look at this. I avoid that in every car, and I'm just destroying it with this. I don't know if you're able to hear that, but there's like a weird ass vibration coming from the rear left. Heavy on D-cell. The wheel could be ready to fall off. I want to start off by getting these open and seeing how they look. So the packaging is better. I'm pretty sure it didn't have any foam on the other one. The other one came with just all the coilovers thrown in a box. Right off the bat, I really like the colorway. I think blue looks really good on suspension. And especially this blue. Oh my goodness. It's like a Laguna Seca blue. It looks really good. And then the main thing with this is I need these rear shocks to be a lot longer than the ones that are currently on the car. Which I can't tell if it's longer, but the quality from this one, I can already tell it is way, way nicer. That coloring looks so good. But I don't know, I really want to get the old suspension out and compare the two, because that's, I guess, what the whole point of this is. I really want to see if this is any better than the old one, or if this is worth it at all. I got the car all jacked up on all four, and I can't open the freaking bag because of the garage door. I didn't even think about that. It literally just dropped as I was repositioning it, turning the wheel. Now it's just hanging there. I can take the top out. Wow, that thing is heavy. Oh! That one was loose. That one was loose. Okay, that's good news then. That was just the wheel about to fall off that was making that noise. That one is also loose. Oh. There's probably about that much thread into the shock right here. So all of it, you have to extend it all the way out so that it'll match the spring with no perch or anything. If you add the perch, you're not going to be able to extend the shock at all to get more ride height. You're just going to add a crazy amount of preload and compress the spring like crazy, because this is the only height that the suspension will go in at. And I'm going to take it out and show you guys exactly how much thread is left inside of that. This is definitely becoming a lot easier to take on and off. Oh my god! What? Harbor Freight scissors just exploded in my hands. This is not looking too good so far. Both of them side by side. You can see from the top hat down, this looks identical. The thread starts from here to here. This is what it needs to be at for it to fit at the lowest ride height. So the shock should be at least here for the lowest ride height. For you to want to ride it at stock, it would probably have to be right here for stock ride height. I don't know how this one is going to make up all that distance, but let me try unthreading this and see how far it gets. Bump stop is at the top, but that is not good. Why? It's the exact same. Which this one, the boot covers the whole rod, which I guess that's better, but that doesn't matter if this... Let's see how far this undoes. Okay. Alright, there's that one. Now, let me see. That was extremely easy once I was bolted up. It's literally the exact same. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. What am I gonna do with this? I said the one complaint about these is that they're not long enough, and they go ahead and make this exact same product, but sell it for $200 more. So like the thing with this is that I told them, the first thing I said when they sent me the email, I said the rear shocks aren't long enough. That is the thing with this car that they're known for. MaXpeedingrods, rear shocks aren't long enough. You're not going to have any suspension travel in the rear. And it's basically garbage. So I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I said, I wonder if it'll work with just the spring in, with no perch. Because once you take that perch out, I was saying that the ride quality could potentially be bearable once you have this removed. But that just leaves you with a car at one height. This car is a drift car. I want to run zero camber on the rear, and for me to do that, I can't be slammed on its nuts. So I need to get a little more ride height into it, and I was hoping that this was going to be the ticket that they were gonna at least see one forum talking about MaXpeedingrods. And when I saw the picture, I'm like, this has so much potential. If they fix that one issue, I feel in my heart that it could actually be something that's pretty decent, something worth money. But this is not worth money. This is just I don't even want to install it, but I already did half the car, so I'm just gonna install them anyways because I have them. I guess now I have a spare for if I crash the car and I bend a coilover, break a coilover, whatever. If anything happens, I now have a spare. But that is a major, major letdown. I really thought that they were gonna be something bearable, but it's not. That's so disappointing. This is why I like showing it to you guys. I give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't go in with any one-minded. Obviously, we all know the reputation MaXpeedingrods have. They're the cheapest, worst coilovers on the market. On the E46 chassis, this is a problem. But maybe on another chassis, this isn't a problem. But in my mind, I think if they're a company willing to go out and remake a product, and they don't look at any of the previous feedback that the last product had, and they didn't build up on that, and just sell it for $200 more, they just don't deserve your business. That's not something that I'm cool with. That's really just such a shame, honestly. This thing will most likely get BCs down the line, hopefully within the year. But I just want to drive. That's honestly all I want to do right now. So these will do. I can do zero camber in the rear once I get better coilovers. So I'm glad that I was able to test these before anyone else so that you guys don't buy these thinking that they actually have potential when they really don't. Another situation. So right here's the old, obviously, and here's the new. They changed the threads inside of the collar so that now it bottoms out way before the old one. And now there's that difference right there. So I will lose that height if I put these in, which if I'm gonna be low, I might as well should just be low. I can't have the rear all the way slammed with the front picked up like that. That's gonna look absolutely crazy. So I'm just gonna leave the old suspension in at this point, honestly, because why would I change it? Why would I put these new ones in if it's gonna just, I don't know. I hope you guys understand. This is crazy. I forgot that the E30 was out here, and I didn't think that we were gonna get this much snow. I'm gonna try and leaf blow it out. I pray that this thing turns on and that it works, because it's very fluffy right now. Please turn on. It died. If you've ever used one of those handheld leaf blowers, they're little vibrating machines. At least that's the one that I have. It vibrates so bad. That was like an actual workout for 9 minutes. These are rear shock tower reinforcements. I had it for the E30 and they didn't fit in my car, so I'm gonna try and put it on here and see if it fits. It was too close to this lump right here. Now I'm pretty sure this can go on top or below, but the surface on top is a lot cleaner, so I'm gonna go with on top. That's what sounds like it makes sense. The other side will also get done, by the way, once I do the rear subframe. Since this wheel was about to fall off, and I made sure to put that on tight. That's never the best sign when the sway bar has that much play in it. I can throw this thing in though. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it there. It's a real shame. I was hoping that these were gonna be a little bit better, but that's how it is sometimes. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you very much. I'll catch you next time.